This is Bedtime Stories, Grownup Edition, Collateral Damage, Part 1. MomBrenda is awake. And we learned all about that in the introduction. The day after she woke up from her coma, Angela had her 24-week prenatal appointment. Her obstetrician and cousin, Immanuel Lopez, completed a growth and development ultrasound on the twins and tested Angela for anemia and gestational diabetes. Now, if you've ever had that glucose test, then you already know the rush of glucose makes the unborn babies throw a sugar fueled, non stop party in utero. As a result, Q and Angela were highly entertained as they waited for the test results. Q was amazed by all of the movement that he could see happening in Angela's abdomen. He said, "Why it look like they breakdancing?" Angela said, "No, why does it feel like they're breakdancing?" When Q placed his hands in various spots on Angela's abdomen and talked to his unborn babies, they moved in response to his touch and his voice. Q said, "I felt them move before, but I've never felt distinct kicks and punches like this. It's amazing." When Angela looked, she saw a couple of tears coming down Q's face, and he said, "You better not tell nobody I was in here crying." Angela burst out laughing, and then Maribel walked in with the test results. Now, Maribel is the oldest daughter of Angela and Stephanie's uncle, Immanuel Manny Lopez. Manny is the only living sibling of Angela and Stephanie's deceased father. Maribel is an accomplished, world-renowned OBGYN who specializes in holistic medicine. She already has a successful practice back on the island of Puerto Rico, but she's recently accepted a position at the practice in Dallas, where a vacancy opened up as a result of the untimely death of Angela's sister-in-law, her deceased first husband Marcus's half-sister, Marcia. While Marcia's death was unfortunate, Marcia was the only family member killed during the ambush perpetrated by the Newport family. Maribel was sought out by the practice because they wanted her to implement her holistic practices with their patients, and Maribel's father, Manny, wanted her to come and work on the mainland. And Q is paying a hefty sum to the practice to ensure that Angela, who's Maribel's first patient in Dallas, is her only patient until she delivers those twins. Maribel has already proven herself to be invaluable to Angela's pregnancy. It was Maribel's practices, implemented by MomBrenda and Q, that helped Angela get pregnant in the first place, unbeknownst to her. They were using concoctions that they got from Maribel, recipes that only included organic fruits, vegetables, herbs, minerals, and vitamins. Angela and her sister Stephanie both inherited a rare condition that caused them to have infertility issues and resulted in Angela suffering several miscarriages during her first marriage. Now, Angela had one successful pregnancy that required extensive medical intervention and resulted in the birth of her now 6-year-old son, Angel, named after her and Stephanie's deceased father. So Angela's already a mother of 3, which includes 11-year-old Melissa, named after Angela and Stephanie's deceased younger sister, and was the product of an affair between their older sister, Jessica, and Angela's deceased husband, Marcus. And 12-year-old Michael, Q's son from a previous relationship, and his mother was murdered to keep her from snitching on the Newport family. Now, you're going to have to go back to some previous seasons to fill in all those blanks. So when Maribel comes in the room, she tells them that she's pleased with the test results, but she's a little concerned that Angela's gained so little weight. As a matter of fact, she hasn't gained a pound since her last appointment. Q said, "She's eating. I have my mother on it. It's her job to make sure my wife is eating." Angela said, I'm eating. Q said, "Is she exercising too much? Do I need to sit her down? Just let me know." Angela said, "You're not sitting nobody down. I'm doing exactly what the doctor has told me to do." Maribel said, "She's doing everything the way I told her. I just need her to try to take in more calories and eat some things that I know will stick to her. Have the Queen Mother give me a call, and I'll make sure that she has all the information she needs. I want to see her gain at least 5 pounds by her next appointment. Now that she's 24 weeks, I'll need to see her every 2 weeks until she's 32 weeks, and then once a week until she delivers. And Maribel tells them that she's getting ready to head back to Puerto Rico. She needs to see some patients at her practice there, but they can call her at any time, and if necessary, she'll head back immediately. She has 24-hour access to her family's private jet, and if nothing else, they can always call the on-call nurse, and whichever doctor at the practice is on call will be there for her if there's an emergency. Q takes Angela home, and when they get there, he tells his mother all about the appointment and refers her to Dr. Maribel. The Queen Mother calls Maribel to find out what foods she should continue to avoid and which foods she should increase in Angela's diet. Maribel sends her a link to the practice's website where she's created a brand new database where patients can input their medical conditions, medical risks, food aversions, and food restrictions. And the site will produce a customized list of foods and drinks to avoid and to consume. The Queen Mother is impressed. She says, "It looks like both of my sons have found the perfect women for them." Now, if you were with us through season 8, Queenpin, then you already know that Donovan St. James, the middle son, finally closed the book on his on-again, off-again relationship with Veronica, the mother of his 2-year-old daughter, baby Bella, clearly named after the Queen Mother. And he's prepared to fully embrace simply co-parenting with Veronica, while his plate is already pretty full, running his architectural and general contracting company, and single-handedly raising his son, baby Chance, named after his deceased younger brother, his younger sister Anya's twin. Baby Chance is motherless because his mother, Destiny, died during an emergency C-section to deliver him. Baby Chance and baby Bella were born on the exact same day. Donovan is making time to pursue Maribel, and she's turning out to be just what he needs to fully embrace manhood. While Donovan is quite the character, he is clearly serious about Maribel. But Maribel and Donovan's budding relationship is off to a rocky start, thanks to Maribel's father Manny's determination to test Donovan's resilience, and Maribel's dissatisfaction with the way that Donovan responded to Veronica's request for financial support. Before Manny gives Donovan his blessing, Donovan has to prove himself, and Manny got Pops Andy and the Queen Mother's permission to give him the Job experience. The three are old friends. We found out in Queenpin that the Queen Mother retired as the head of the Baptiste family's criminal enterprise when her twins, Anya and Chance, were babies. And Chance was collateral damage when she, the twins, and her best friend Nadia were ambushed while she was driving them through New York City. She was kidnapped, and like the G she was, and still is, she freed her damn self, got the retribution that her family deserved, and then she quickly disconnected and cut off all ties with the notorious 5 families. Now, the notorious 5 families include the head family, the Lopezes, run by Manny out of Puerto Rico. Out of Trinidad is both Pops Andy's family, the St. Jameses, run by his brother Nigel, and the Queen Mother's family, the Baptistes, run by her younger brother Samuel. Out of St. Lucia is the Charles family. The Queen Mother's best friend Nadia is married to Anand, and his brother Idra is the head. And out of the Dominican Republic, the Ramirez family. Currently, only 4 of the families remain at the top of the criminal food chain, and the Ramirezes aren't one of them. They were responsible for the attack on the Queen Mother's family in Trinidad and her children and Nadia in New York. Her escape and retaliation crippled the Ramirez family. And while they're still in operation, they were never able to recover or regain their position. In fact, the remaining 4 families make it a point to keep them from ever being able to regroup. And families with less power steer clear from working with them, out of respect and fear. Plus, they're all vying for that 5th position. So Manny is hell-bent on proving once and for all whether Donovan is fit for his daughter. When Maribel headed back to Puerto Rico after Angela's appointment, she didn't tell Donovan. As a matter of fact, He hadn't spoken to her for days because she stopped taking his calls after how he handled the situation when Veronica and Miss Bernie came to him asking for financial support. When Donovan showed up at the Lopez family estate in Dallas wanting answers, Manny was there waiting for him. You'll need to watch episode 19 of Queenpin to find out how that turned out. Long story short, Donovan made things right with Veronica and went and got his girl back. The day after Angela's 24-week appointment, Veronica showed up at the estate to pick up the children. When the Queen Mother called Donovan to verify that this was planned, he didn't answer. And then she remembered that she missed a call from him the day before because she was on the phone with Manny. Manny was letting her know that Donovan had passed the test that showed that he truly was done with Veronica, and now he was going to test whether Donovan could appropriately handle a dangerous situation. So the Queen Mother let Veronica take the children because she assumed that Donovan was in Puerto Rico, and perhaps that's what he was calling to tell her the day before. Later that day, while the Queen Mother was preparing dinner, using one of the recipes from Maribel's website, Anya came home from work. She works at the Queen Mother's spa, Bedtime, in Fort Worth. When she came in, she signed to the Queen Mother, letting her know that morning when she got up, Pops Andy was on his way out, and he told her to let her mother know to call him when she got up. But she was hurrying out the door and forgot all about it. She asked her mother, had she spoken to her pops? And when the Queen Mother said no, she quickly grabbed the phone and gave him a call. Pops Andy said, "Hey, baby, I should have called you earlier when you didn't call me. I needed to tell you that Donovan called me early this morning. He said he was in Puerto Rico and there was an issue. He asked me to hold things down over here at his business because he's going to be off the grid for a little while. He also told me to send Q and LJ if I don't hear from him in 24 hours, and to let you know that if Veronica shows up, not to let her take the kids. He let her down as easy as he could, but he don't trust her." The Queen Mother said, "Oh, Andy, you should have woke me up and told me or called me or something, because Veronica came this morning and picked the kids up." Pops Andy said, "Well, don't worry about it. It's not like she gonna hurt them kids. She loved them. She might make Donovan sweat a little bit, but she not gonna do nothing stupid. Either way, we'll hear from Donovan in the morning, and if we don't, I'll send Q and LJ to Puerto Rico and have Regina find Veronica." The issue that Donovan was referring to when he called Pops Andy is that Maribel is missing. After he handled that situation with Veronica, went back to Puerto Rico and made up with Maribel, he went back to her estate to wait until she got off from work. While he was there, Manny showed up to have a conversation with him. Ostensibly, his intentions were to give Donovan his blessing. But while they were talking, one of his men ran in the house and said that Maribel's car had been ambushed. Donovan immediately jumped into action while Manny watched. Donovan had Maribel's staff take them to the security office on the estate and pull up the security footage all around the property. When he got to the footage that showed the main road leading to her gate, he saw that the car was ambushed right before the driver could pull in. Donovan watched the footage from beginning to end. Then he had the security guard rewind it back to the beginning. Donovan has an inherent skill at observation, and his mother made it a point to hone that skill. So Donovan has an ability to see things that other people just don't, and to interpret the things that he sees in ways that others don't. So as he rewatched the footage, he noticed some things. He found it odd that they shot Maribel's driver but didn't kill him, allowing him to make it to the house to tell them that she'd been kidnapped. He also noticed that they didn't hurt her. He sees that Maribel fought like hell. She even hurt several of the men, and they didn't even hit her back. It took 5 of them to get her out of the back of her chauffeured car and into the getaway car. They didn't even tie her up. As he zoomed in on the back seat when they opened the door and they were pushing her in, he saw an arm helping her into the car, and on the arm was a very distinct tattoo.